Okay, welcome to a moment of harmony here today on our regularly scheduled day of Saturday. We are here to get in another moment. We are in a 4 week series. I don't know why I just feel like weirdly proportionate for you guys. Normally I feel like I'm too close to you. This time I felt like I was too far away from you. God. Okay, we're good. The ops, the specs, they're good. Welcome again to another moment of harmony. I am so excited for us to get into this moment today. We're in a 4 week series entitled Moments of Motion, where we are picking up the momentum after the new year. Buzz has worn off, after some of our goals have gotten started, and we really are in a place for a push. And so we are getting all into that today. I am so excited to have you here. I am so blessed to share this Saturday with you, and as always, honored to be a part of your healthcare, self care routine. I want to give a big birthday shout out to one of my godsons, Daniel. Big birthday shout out to Shamaya. Happy birthday, Booby Cakes. 26 is crazy. What is happening? I mean, she's 26 and 26 in 26. I love it. Um, I'm trying to think of we had a lot of birthdays. We're in Pisces season. Aqua gang. We'll be back next year. Aqua season is over. We're all the way up in Pisces season. So big shout out to all those fish, except little big fish swimming upstream, doing what they can, following their dreams. Right? That's a dreaming fish. Happy birthday to you. I am so happy to get again into this moment today, because today we're talking about a very big, so we've been in the quicksands, what I have dubbed the quicksands of life, as far as momentum goes, as far as moving forward, as far as giving life our best, as far as remaining steadfast, avoiding stagnation periods, points. Um, and I came up with four, which were fear, forgiveness, failure, and fog, that we are going to get into week by week. And we're already in the third week. So we're already more than halfway through our coursework. Peace and welcome. Hi. So we're already halfway through our coursework. Look how quick that was. Our past courses, the past couple of courses were really long. Our Mayat course was 42 weeks with the 42 principles. Our manifestation course was 41 weeks. I mean, we were putting time in. So here we go, a quick course again, and we are more than halfway through it, landing on the week that we talk about failure. And that today's episode is entitled, this week's episode is entitled Failure to Fail You. Failure to fail you. Okay, we're gonna get all into that one today, so I'm super excited about it. Big shout out to CRP, the Cultural Restoration Project. We're gonna be going out to support today at their fundraiser gala, and just love and light to everybody out there continuously doing the work for us. Whether it is loud and everyone knows about it, or you just in the beginning blueprint and building bricks, but wherever you are in this entire hemisphere, in this galactic reality, wherever you are, if you're praying for us, if you're dreaming for us, if you're working for us, if you're moving towards the empowerment and the greatness of those who need the lift, the push, those rightfully deserving, I am just saying thank you. We are going to always do good work for one another. Regardless of what is said, regardless of what is mentioned, we love each other and we're doing good work for each other. So salute to everyone out there continuing to carry the torches, continuing to keep it moving. 365, right? I love you guys, and thank you all for coming in. The chat is going. Hi, beautiful. Hey, Mr. Carter. Hi, Sissy Pooh. It's coming in. Y'all just flooding on in, and it's so good to see you. Happy to see you. Now, let's get into failure to fail you. Now, failure becomes a massive quicksand point when it comes to momentum, when it comes to going after our dreams, when it comes to staying motivated and staying on course. because it almost appears as a constant threat. And no matter what you're doing, whether it's a small thing like working out every day or going for a walk every day, or whether it's keeping your routines right, or whether it's much more massive things like complete career changes, complete identity shifts, complete journeys, right? And complete like healing journeys and brand new journeys. It always becomes, or it appears, and we're going to get into the appearance of it today. It appears to haunt or taunt as a constant threat. Peace, peace, peace. It appears to haunt or taunt as a constant threat. And thank you, beloved, that failure is imminent, or failure is approaching, or failure is biting, is on your heels, it's around the corner. We are going to eliminate that with tools and practicality, like I like to do here at a Moment of Harmony. We are going to work through that today. When we leave this moment, I pray that as we go after those things in life, as we dare to dream, as we dare to try again, as we dare to wake up tomorrow, as we dare to rebuild, refocus, restructure, and keep it moving, I want us to be able to completely restructure the idea we have in our mind about failure, how it's stopping us, how it's hurting us, how it's harming us, and how it is doing us more harm than good to be on the heels of our dreams, to be on the heels of our actions and our thoughts. We're getting it off the heels, we're getting it under our feet, and we're using it as a step stool. Because it's going to only keep pushing us forward. Because again, we're going to re-see this thing, which means we're going to reuse it, repurpose it, is what I should say. We're going to repurpose it. So re-see it so we can repurpose it, and we are going to be moving forward only with the thought of failing, or the apprehension of failing self. That's the only thing we're going to be worried about. I don't want to fail myself, and I'm going to get into how we can get there together today. So, failure to fail you. Um, Again, when it comes to us just being in a space of like, hey, I'm going after this, I'm working things through, I'm investing, I'm dreaming, I'm instilling, there are going to be ebbs and flows, right? We have a process methods, right? The science of success. Failure in the science of success is often misinterpreted, and we're going to get into those misinterpretations of the things that we're seeing as failure, the things that we're fearing as failure, the things that we are utilizing for failure, which really have intention or were intended to be otherwise utilized. Look at that, boards. To be otherwise utilized. So we're going to get into that today. Now, the first part is one of the big reasons that failure becomes a major pitfall for us, it becomes a detriment to us, it becomes a speed bump for us, is because we are very much hyper focused over writing things, as opposed to writing things. Now let's clear that up, right? Let's get into it. When I say writing things, I mean as far as script, as far as lists, as far as, putting pen to pad, actually writing things out. We have plans, we have our futures planned, we have sometimes our friends and families through our legacy. My mom went to this school, her mom went to this school, their mom went to this school. I come from a family of whatever you come from a family of, right? People say, I come from a family of mechanics, I come from a family of doctors. Means so it is written. So oftentimes we are so determined to stick to a script, and that is where failure comes in the most. I'm not saying anything is wrong with a plan, a vision, uh, an outline. I'm an organized chick. I believe in organization, but I also believe in the divine flow of life, realistic happiness, and being open to the flow. So when it comes to us having this extreme obsession with the plan, this is where this extreme detriment comes in of the failure. Because if the plan is my focus, if the plan is my all in all, if the plan is my measure, then yes, the failure becomes an inevitable part of that. Because if anything goes wrong, if anything doesn't go according to plan, if anything shifts, then the only resolution that most people will come to is that they failed. And if we do think about things that way, that is inevitable. Again, ebbs and flow, pitfalls. That makes failure real inevitable. As a divine being and a light of life, and here being a spirit in a human experience, we are not making failure inevitable. It's not an option. It's not a part of the plan, and it's also not in alignment with my success. So we're gonna move in through that, right? So we have this obsession with writing out the plan, sticking to the script over we fear this sticking to the writing, fear the wrong over the power of to write. So writing with the script, writing with a plan, writing with a list, we want to write over write, meaning being able to course correct, being able to reconstruct, being able to amend or to learn, to grow, right? So the ability to write situations, the capacity, the capability, the power to just take things that have been out of balance or something that is out of whack and to put it into balance, or to do something that hasn't been done and to bring it into existence. We get more obsessed with the writing than our innate power to write, meaning that you have an innate ability, a power to correct whatever may go wrong. You have the ability to take a turn. You have an ability to reconstruct. You can go back to the drawing board. You can redirect the blueprint. You can relearn. You can unlearn. But we often, when you are stuck in a pitfall of left, or shouldn't I say left, when you're stuck in the pitfall of, but this is what it says I have to do when it comes to writing. Peace, beloved. When it comes to writing, meaning I have to do this thing by this time. I need to be married by this time. I need to work at this place at this time in my life. I need to have this much money in my bank account. And it is written out for me either by myself, by society, by pressure, by expectation, by others. It has been written that I need to do X, Y, and Z. And as I write that out, that is all I can see. So when something goes left, the economy shifts, the administration changes, the technology changes. When something changes, I feel like my immediate recourse or my immediate resolve is that you failed. You failed. Life gets a hold of you, lessons get a hold of you, reconstructive, all of these things come into place, and you start to say you're a failure. We are changing that at a moment of harmony today. We are going to get to the point where we all realize there is nothing you can fail in this life, excuse me, but yourself. And I don't mean any type of material loss. I don't mean any type of relationship loss, change, transition. I mean the fortitude to keep yourself elevated, living, growing, and open to all of the greatness that life has to offer. Anything short of that, it is an impossibility to fail yourself. We are redirecting the standard. We are re-understanding what it means to have goals for ourselves, to want more for ourselves, to believe in ourselves, bet on ourselves, go after ourselves. And in doing that, you cannot lose. And we're going to get more into how that looks. So we have this obsession with writing it out. My parents were married for this many years, so I want to be married for this many years. Or they weren't married and I didn't see happy, healthy relationships, so I have this complete obsession with this relationship that looks a certain way and moves a certain way. And then inevitably set myself up for these ebbs and flows that look contrary to the script, and therefore I believe that I failed. I believe that I am not winning. And when I take a couple of those blows, or when in life, when a couple of those blows are taken, we then stop taking those risks to avoid those blows. Again, because we are more afraid of wrong than we honor the power to do right. You have the ability to course correct. You have the ability. You can think another dream. You can um, sketch another plan. If you, no matter what route you get on, the tools you have dictate your success, not the place you are right now. So we're going to continue to delve into that. So making sure that we're not more obsessed with the writing than we are the writing. And I'm saying, like, whatever you, I can remember a time when, I mean, I would document anything. I was an exercise, health junkie. Now, I'm not saying anything is wrong with, like, being serious about your health and being serious about being strong and vibrant, totally. But when you take things out of the perspective of you don't enjoy them, or it's not about love, it has other things attached to it, meaning you don't want to be a failure. You don't want to go without. You don't want to lose. As opposed to, I'm doing this to be, I'm doing this to gain, I'm doing this to grow. So again, the mindset you have behind things are more, dictate more on whether, or more of a dictation, or more of a notion and a measure on if you are winning than the actual production or results that you are getting. So again, we're gonna go deeper, but I've gotten to the point where it's like I used to write down my whole day. I mean, I had magnetic, um, what are they called? Like to-do lists and calendars everywhere, right? I had them everywhere. My workouts, marked them, marked what I had to do for the day, marked things off. And I began to find that as life was happening, I would be stressed because I was measuring the goodness of my day, or the success of my day, or the productivity of my day based off of a to-do list, based off of a calendar list, based off of some X's or some checks. And I began to remember, if you did you enjoy this day? Did you learn in this day? Did you have moments in this day you did not know if you were going to make it through, but you did? Yes, you still honor yourself. Did you take time out to feed yourself appropriately? Because a lot of the times when we're doing the checklist, it has to do with influence, or it has to do with expectation. And it doesn't have to truly do with the quality of life. So I can get through a whole work day and check, 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 and be like, girl, you did that today. You worked and worked and worked. You barely came up for air, but you also barely walked. And you barely walked around, got up and walked around the office. You also barely ate. You also barely used the bathroom when you had to. You barely spoke to people or interacted with other human beings. I mean, it's been you and this laptop, sis. And we will say, we'll say progress. Look how many deadlines I beat. Look how many marks I hit. Look how many files I closed. Look how many cases I solved. And and again, regardless of what your occupation is, look how many cars I was able to work on today. Look how many heads I did today. And we will begin to quantify success. And then wonder why failure becomes so debilitating. Because not only are we measuring success in a way in which that is not holistic to self, that is not in alignment with divine flow, but we should be able to say, I made accomplishments in my goals. I went after the bag, right? I did, yes, I did a certain amount of cards, did a certain amount of heads, I closed a certain amount of cases, but I did it while keeping me intact. What does it proper? I'm trying to think. My big sister used to sing this. She used to sing this song, y'all. Silver and gold. And one of my favorite lines in Silver and Gold was, what does it proper a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Peace and welcome, welcome, welcome. What does it proper a man to gain the world and lose his soul? So are you hitting macro goals while keeping the or say micro goals while keeping the major or macro picture in sight, and being able to not what is it called, misprioritize accomplishments, goals, dreams, and you. And you, right? You are not a goal to hit. Your happiness is not to be measured in a time frame. Your health is not to be measured on a checklist. You Yes, we can have ambitions. Yes, we can have things that we're working for. We can be clear on outlines. But you, beautiful spirit, boundless and capable of all things great and wonderful, are not a point to hit. You are a daily listening of self, a moment by moment thing, a moment by moment evolution of extraordinary light and beingness. You cannot put this on a schedule. It's not going to go in the notes in your phone. You're not going to be able to put it in your Google Calendar how good or how great this life measures for you. It won't fit. And every time you try to fit your happiness, every time you try to fit your progress, every time you try to fit your success in a measurable means, as a spiritual, boundless being, you are setting yourself up for failure. You are making failure real in this life where it is an illusion. You are creating it for yourself. And we are going to be not doing that anymore. So this inevitable fear of failure comes from sticking to a script as opposed to understanding that whatever comes my way is the flow of my way. I'm eager to learn the journey of where the day takes me, and I am also grounded enough in myself that I don't fear where it takes me. I don't fear being taken anywhere, taken advantage of, taken for a fool, taken off my game, taken out of my way. I'm grounded. I'm solid in self, and therefore there is no failure. I am receptive to the flow, and I am grounded in the glow. And in being that, in having that, there is no failure that awaits. Only lessons, only journeys. That is all that is waiting for me. Okay? So let's get dig deeper into that. One, when it comes to us being obsessed with this writing, right? Writing, obsessed with this way things should look, the obsession with the way things should be, with, my mom always wanted this for me, or I always felt like we should run this house a certain way, or I laugh now at 40 years old. I have 5 children that I gave birth to, right? And blessings to my womb, okay? And I laugh when I hear young mothers talk about what their children are going to be, or how they're raising their children to be, what will and won't. And young parents, I shouldn't say mothers, parents do it. And they're just like, yeah, my child is going to go to this school, or they're going to go to this college, or they're going to do this thing, or I would never let my children do this, or they get in some type of impossible scenario, and they'll say like, if somebody did this to my children were dealing with bullying in school, I would do XYZ. And they have not yet embarked on the journey, right? And there's times when I smile in the power of life, right? The way that life moves, and the writing that takes place before someone even has learned to walk. Now, having a plan for your child, being able to see strengths in your child or your marriage or your relationship. When we think about marriages, when people get on wedding day, this very happy day, and everyone's talking about like, we'll never fight, or we'll never divorce, or I will never go to bed angry. All these things, right, that are quite fanciful in thought. And it's fine to be positive, and it's fine to wish for the best. But in reality, we want to seriously avoid setting yourself up for the writing, and more preparing yourself for writing, course correcting, balancing, completing, healing, And now that is where I am now. It is better that you focus your attention not on the perfection of things, but on the positioning of things. And that's what moves us away from failure. Okay, to say that I'm okay. I'm judging my life on, is my life okay? Is my relationship okay? Is my health okay? Are my friendships okay? Is my family okay? Okay is not perfection, right? And this is where we start to get that script writing. I am calling things a failure because I'm going according to script. When I look at this outline, it says, family doesn't fight, family doesn't betray one another, family doesn't let each other down, family doesn't take pride in each other's pain. Great, listen, you don't have my argument, but you are talking about rules of life and not the ways of being, the ways of growth, the construction of becoming. And construction is very different. For anyone who's ever walked past a construction site, worked on a construction site, familiar with construction site, how many times have you driven past something and said, what are they doing? It's just a bunch of dust, debris, and noise. Annoying. Tarp everywhere and paint everywhere and machines everywhere. Just a bunch of what is happening here. And one day you drive by and it is a mall, or it is an apartment complex, or something, a park, something is there now. Construction has a way, and it is not, and the way looks different than the blueprint. And if we are looking at a blueprint and judging day by day, you will say that you are failing. You will say, this doesn't look anything like the blueprint. This doesn't look anything like what we drew out or what we planned. And you will miss that the rules are not the reality. Do we all need guidelines? Yes, that's why we love the laws, right, of Mayat. This is why we love principles. This is why we love virtues. This is why we love things like that, because who doesn't need a compass? But the rules are not the reality. And measuring yourself by the rules, and instead of being able to actually listen in the flow, is a massive setup. And I'm here today to move us in this particular episode away from the pitfall and the quicksand of failure. The whole to-do of New Year's resolutions have burned off, right? This year, new me. I'm doing this differently. I'm not doing this. All of these things are starting to melt with the snow. And now you are saying, have I failed? Can I do this? I had this dream, I had this goal, I wanted to do this thing. It's not looking like what I wrote. It's not looking like what I said. It's unfolding in a different way. It's moving at a different pace. Am I failing? Should I give up? Should I just stop? And I am here to say, are you more worried about if things have gone perfect than you are concerned about exactly how positioned you are? When you position yourself, you become capable. I'm not worried about this. One thing, I was talking to my sister the other day, and also shout out to my sissy poo, but shout out to Rachel, Shar, Kenesha. Had a wonderful opportunity to sit with some, oh my goodness, childhood friends. And of course, when you talk about life and all the plans we had, we laughed because we were some planning little girls, okay? When I grow up, I'm gonna marry this person, gonna go to this college, gonna have this many children, and look at us at 40, right? And I was talking to my sister on the way to the engagement, and I also spoke with the ladies when I got there. I love this part in life. I love this middle. I told my sister, the cream in the middle of the cookie. I love the middle part of life. It's not the beginning, it's not the end, but the place of understanding, the place of sitting comfortably, the place ashe, the place of loving. Go ahead with yourself. I see you. I see you, King. Um, but the place of sitting where you should be sitting in order to see what you need to see. That beautiful positioning between 2020, pun on 40, okay? Ding. That beautiful position between 2020. Um, on the other side of 2020, what shall I say? To be able to say, like, why am I measuring um, why am I setting a dream on a goal and not on the grace? Why am I not moving with the flow of why am I not moving with the flow as it moves towards my future of calling, of purpose, of mission? Why do I think that I decided at 12 or I decided at 20 or I decided at 30 what my greatest missions would be? Many of us didn't even know true love until we became parents, but said we knew what we were going to love the most in life. Many of us weren't even sure about how strong we were, the endurance or the tenacity, until we took on our own businesses or we took on large endeavors and missions in life. And then we realized what strength was and we learned what patience was. So before I knew myself, I set plans for myself, is what I'm saying. The journey away from failure is just the journey of openness to self. That's all I'm open to. I'm open to seeing. Think about the ever evolvingness of your being. There was a time when all you wanted to do was this. There was a time when the person you could think of the most was this person. There was sometimes I look back and laugh. Oh my goodness, I remember when you can't eat, can't sleep, can't think, but about this person. Or you thought your whole life was going to be this. Or you thought, oh, it's laughable, right? To the extent, not in a making fun of, but in the girl, why were you tripping? Look at life. Life has so much to offer you, so much true love to offer you, so much abundance and prosperity to offer you. There is much for you to gain. But if you are writing the way you're going to get it and you're still learning you, the failure move you move away from failure when you open up just to learning you. I just want to listen to her. What does her body tell her about how much she's going to work out today, right? Sometimes I go for an hour and a half. Sometimes, look, I got good 20 minutes in me these days. It's based on what I'm feeling. It's based on my schedule and how I'm eating and where I am in my moon cycle. And all of these things are factors. And as it goes with you all too. People have hormonal factors, environmental factors, emotional factors, and you are judging yourself off of a blueprint that was written for something that doesn't grow and change. Oh, well, now that you changed, now that you grow, now that you evolve, maybe so should your ideas around what your success is. Maybe so should your ideas and your thoughts and your actions and your goals around what winning and making it is. This life is one for the living, not for the writing. Now, and listen, I mean solely because I'm a writer. I'm a writer, I'm an organizer, I'm a planner. I'm not saying to not. I'm saying, but do not confuse structure with life and living. It is a tool, it is something you implement to live a certain way, but it doesn't dictate living in and of itself. Just like fun and play doesn't either, right? That's why Maya, we have balance. Okay, when it comes to this thing called failure, keep in mind that perfection is not the goal, positioning is the goal. As my children, and most of my children are young adults now, as my children are growing and becoming, I am big on just position. I cannot stop you. I always use the movie Taken. They gonna take you. I cannot stop you from learning life. I cannot stop you from bumping your head. You're going to fall. You're going to grow. You're going to get your heart broken sometimes. You're going to be at the. You're going to fall in love, right? You're going to have a lot of money and be secure. You might be struggling to need a hand. Life is going to happen. I am not trying to create for you a perfect life. I am trying to support for you a perfect spirit. The spirit of endurance, the spirit of compassion, the spirit of reconciliation, this spirit of resilience. That's the word I was looking for. I am trying to support in you a strong spirit. Perfection is an illusion that will set you up for this inevitable other illusion that becomes a reality when you feed it, called failure. Whew, that was a lot. All right, I got you. But keep it in mind that we are so, again, if I if you have the tools and you set me off, there's a show called Naked and Afraid. I don't know if you probably are familiar with it. But what I love about Naked and Afraid is that they set them into the wilderness with nothing. They have nothing, not even clothes. They're with a complete stranger most of the time, and they have to make their own way in the middle of nowhere for a certain amount of money. And these people have to survive. And they go into it believing they're going to survive. You won't have anything. What makes them certain of their survival is what they're capable of. Literally, I won't even have clothes to protect my skin, but do I have the wherewithal to find shade, shelter? Do I know how to discern clean water from unclean water? It's my capabilities that I'm taking on this journey and that I'm saying you can put me anywhere and I can win. That's what I'm measuring off of. There is no timeline that I'm giving you. There is no, when I say I got this, it means that I got me. I know what I carry, and therefore I am not afraid of where I'm going. A negative and afraid, they let them choose tools. Why would I ever be afraid of being lost when I have a compass? It's oxymoronic, right? I can't be lost, I have a compass. But we'll have people that's like, oh, I don't want to go this way because I might lose my attention, or I might lose my focus, or I might lose my family, or lose my husband if I go after this venture to start school again, or if I go after, I'll lose something. You're afraid of being lost? You have a compass? You have gifts? You have talents? You have brilliance? You have the ability to create and to manifest, and you think you'll be short on something? So they allow these individuals in Naked and Afraid to choose a couple of tools to take with them. Many of them choose matches so they can make a fire. They choose a weapon so they can protect themselves. And most of them go with those two. Some people may choose like a pot or something like that. But many of them choose, and along the way, they say, I know I got this. I know I can go 21 days without even clothes on my back because I have tools. Position yourself is the winning formula. Not what you wrote, not what you expected, not what was demanded of you, not what was required of you. What you possess, your capacity and your capability is the winning secret. There is no failure with that. I have the tools. You can sit me in any occupation. Ashe. You can sit me in any occupation. You can sit me at any table. You can I'm at a point in my life where anywhere I go, I grow. That's the formula away from failure. Anywhere I go, I'll grow. There's anything that I get into will be the next level, will be the next chapter for me. I am more focused on position than perfection, and that works for us. So it moves us away again from the script and more closer to the source. I don't need a script when I'm the source. I don't need a script when I'm the source. The ideas come from me, the words come from me, come from connection, come from oneness, Ji and Yang, right? I don't need a script when I'm the source. So, but if you are on a script mission, If you're still saying, no, I said by the time my kids were this age, we'd live here, or by the time, I was this age, I'm going to be partner, or at this time, by now, and should have been, could have been, would have been, failures. Mm-mm. There is no failure in the flow. Flow and focus. No failure in the flow and focus. Have you stopped growing, and have you stopped knowing? Nope, you still flowing, you still focused, you still winning, bro. No failure. Got it. Okay, next part. The other part, this is going to be my favorite. At 40 years old, this is my favorite part of this moment today, right? We get caught in failure because we gauge things that we say didn't work. We say something didn't work, it didn't go the way we planned. There's that script again. It didn't go the way we wanted it to, and we're doing it again. Or we're giving more effort into something, or we're starting all over, or the plan is shifting mid in action, right? Um, and this is the next point. Success deserves boundless attempt. Y'all that keep, listen, success deserves boundless attempt. When it comes to your success, when it comes to your happiness, when it comes to your health, when it comes to your light and your well-being, we cannot fail with a whatever it takes mindset. Now, if your mindset, I only have this one shot, you only get one shot, do not miss your chance. If that's your chance, or that's your self-talk, you fail. Because no, listen, you're not winning the whole life in one shot. This is a marathon, right? This is a journey. If you keep telling yourself you only got one shot on a journey, you set yourself up big time. Success, this life that we've been blessed with, this incredible opportunity to dwell and exist in the spiritual realm as a spiritual being in the human fleshly realm, is a wonderful journey. And if you are blessed, a long journey, right? A long journey. And on this long journey, we tend to think, I have to get all of these things, or we tend to think that we have this failure to launch. We have a failure to complete. We have a failure to try. We have this failure to believe. Failure to, what is it? What does it say? Procrastination. I guess just like the failure to complete, right? We have all these things that come as stop holds and pauses. And yes, Ashe, thank you so much. All these things that come in that way. And it is because we forget that success in itself, the beauty of happiness and content and joy. We're talking about joy. Y'all trying to measure joy on a timeline. You're trying to measure peace. Oh my gosh, you're trying to measure peace with a bank account number. These are endless, extraordinary blessings that you have in this life. Peace, joy, love, unmeasurable, immeasurable components to life. And you're trying to gather how much of it you have based on quantifiable reality, material, tangible. Why? Success deserves boundless attempt. If you are going to acquire something that's only measurable by spirit and heart, then you are going to go after it only with spirit and heart as your compass for how often, how long you get to go after it. You get to try for it. You get to revamp for it. Whatever it takes. For all of the people that are saying, I'm not going to go to school again because I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to be old in school, or I don't want to fail another course, or I don't think I can do it. I want, when it comes to your happiness, that failure isn't the resort that you go to sit and decide in. that your resort is whatever it takes. That means however many times I have to start over, however many years I have to invest, however many chances I have to give this thing, whatever it takes is the opponent to failure. In that, we say that failure is not things ending, failure is things stopping. This is the flow and the focus. Failure is not things, thank you, my love. Failure is not things ending, failure is things stopping. Stories end, books end, movies end, songs end. Do you read another book? Do you listen to another song? You eat another meal at another time? Things don't things ending is not the problem. Because we're talking cyclical. We're talking life journey. It is stopping. You only fail not when the course ends, when the marriage ends, when the childhood ends. You didn't fail. It's not over. You fail when the dreams stop. You fail when the love stops. The motivation stops. And not from you to someone else or from someone or something else to you, but for yourself. Do I still dream loud, big, and proud? Do I still believe? Do I still know that things like love don't run out? Things like joy, the magic sparkles of life like joy and happiness, they don't run dry. They are out there waiting to be sought, accepted, and appreciated, whatever it takes. And the beauty part of whatever it takes is the older you get, it takes a lot less. It takes a lot less to make you happy. It takes a lot less to make you fulfilled. It takes a lot less to help you because you understand. Wisdom is a booster. Give thanks, right? But whatever it takes, well, how many times are you going to go to college? How many times are you going to get married? Well, how many times? And those things in your head, your ear, in your head, from others and outside sources, either from your very own self, are causing you to be in the pitfalls of failure and only failing yourself. When someone says, well, how many children are you going to have? For those that want to keep having children, that's on y'all. That's if you want to do that. It's your dream. It's your dream, not a conference call. How many children? Whatever it takes. However many you reach your joy, however much it takes for you to be in that space of self, of satisfaction, whatever it takes. How many, how long are you going to go? You've been building this thing. It's at the beginning, whatever it takes. The opponent to failure. Failure is giving up. Failure is not giving in. Failure is giving up. So a lot of times when you're settling for less, well, I don't want to be alone, or I don't want to start over. I've worked so hard and you're giving in. It's giving in. Giving in is that measure, again, of are you failing yourself? Are you stagnant? Are you stuck for a reason? And the reason is not because you don't want to grow. The reason is not because you don't want more. You don't desire more. Your spirit is not calling out. Shout out to the doctor. Your spirit is not calling out constantly for something more, something different, right? Something feeding you. You are a vastless being of light and possibility. Do I think we should be ungrateful? Should we always be on the next train? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? No, don't drive the next train. But do drive the growth train, right? Do be on the road of, am I growing and evolving? The seasons are, grass, rain is coming, flowers. The seasons are changing consistently. Am I too evolving? And it is natural for me not to want to get stuck in a season of lack of evolution. Failure is not failure is giving up, it's not giving in. So there's a lot of us like, I just don't want to. No, it's making you stuck. Giving in to less than what you, where you are to grow, where you are to be, where this life is taking you. Giving in is the failure. I mean, I'm sorry, let me rewrite that. Giving up is the failure. That's what it is. That's what I want to say. Giving up is the failure. But giving in to your dreams, giving in to your desires, giving in to the consciousness in your chest and the conversation in your heart, that is not failure. That is growth. That is evolution. And so a lot of times we will get stuck in a place because we think that we've done enough trying. We think that we've done enough hoping. We think that we've gone after things enough. We've had enough things not take all the way off, or not go all the way right, or not move the way. Again, because of the script. You have this script that is being written out that's not, listen, the script is not being, what is it, supported by life and reality, right? It's not being, what is the word that I'm looking for? These Perry days, I tell ya. Okay, the script is not being reinforced. I knew it was coming. Come on now. The script is not being reinforced by life. Because we'll say, I married this person, I was married for so many years, I divorced this person, and I'll call it failure. You call it a failure because in your script you said when you married them it was supposed to be forever. But see, life, source energy, universal alignment is saying no. It served its purpose. It was its chapter. It taught you what it was supposed to teach you, and you are evolving into another space. And so is that other person. What you call failure, we call transition. We're calling growth, the ebbs and flows. Life does not reinforce your script. That's how you know it's not natural. Life does not reinforce. Children grow, we change. It does not reinforce the idea of stagnation, stuck. Life never has come back and co-signed that for us. There's a saying that I love, what we call the end, a caterpillar calls a new beginning. Right? When a caterpillar, the end of a caterpillar's life is the beginning of a butterfly's. You are miscalculating and misjudging your flow of beingness and becoming. And we are saying, you can't fail anything but you. Success deserves boundless attempts. Success deserves boundless attempts. There is not a number of times that you can take to get it right, a number of times that you can invest in something to make it grow outside of what your spirit is telling you. There is not a number on happiness and joy, and us continuing to go around whatever it takes, until you are sitting in your windowsill with your hot tea, looking out on a life that you would rather be nowhere else. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to sleep peacefully through the night. Whatever it takes to invest more into yourself, into the things that mean the most to you. Whatever it takes to find joy and to own it rightfully and genuinely. Whatever it takes. Success deserves boundless attempts, and we get caught up in the stagnant quicksand of failure when we are so much afraid of it that we are not reliant or confident in our own capabilities. I'm so much more afraid of failure than I am confident in my own capabilities. No. Wherever I go, I'll grow. There is no failure, fear of failure here. I believe that I am supported. I know that I am loved. I am guided. I am growing, and I am unfolding daily. I cannot write a script for what that's going to look like, but I can be certain that I am connected to a source that is going to be that is going to ensure that I'm going to enjoy what that's going to feel like. It's going to feel like life. It's going to feel like growing. It's going to feel like learning. It's going to feel like trying. It's going to feel like understanding. It's going to feel like enlightenment. It's going to feel like life unfolding. Let it happen. Okay? We're gonna get out of this last point. We're coming up on the last bit of our last bit of our, using all these examples, last bit of our moment for today. So we're gonna get into this last point. Welcome, welcome, hello, and welcome to a Moment of Harmony. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all that are sitting up through the whole moment. The chat is chatting. I'm very grateful and appreciative of you all. Now, failure to fail you. This is the last point we're going to get into with the stagnation of failure. Failure to fail yourself. There is no failure outside of self. There's no failure outside of self-failure. This massive illusion that we're going to fail somebody. We're going to fail at something. We're going to fail our lives. Or, we're going to be this big disappointment child. Not even with the D, child. We are going to debunk this entire myth of failure that haunts us, stagnates us, and anchors us to realities that do not serve us. There is no failure outside of you. Even when you think about, well, I know people that failed me, or I know people that disappointed me. Disappointment and failure are two different definitions and two different things. We using words and ideologies all together is causing us to be discombobulated. But we can say, no, my parents failed me, or the school system failed me. And then we think about people who had dysfunctional childhoods, who we don't deem as failures. We think about people who grew up with limited resources, who we don't deem as failures. They too grew up maybe in impoverished neighborhoods or in broken school systems, broken governmental systems, and we don't see them as failures. And I'm only saying, not that you did not deserve something different or you couldn't have done better with something else. What I am saying is that this idea that something can fail us or we can fail something is a farce, if you will. It is it is holding us back. It is a myth. It is untrue, right? That failure exists anywhere but within a self-conversation. So even when I say, no, I had this boyfriend, or you may have this girlfriend or whatever, no, he failed me because, he lied or he did this or he did that. But when we look at people that we say failed us, our children failed us, this person failed us, think about what they are doing to themselves. I'm trying to think of, there's a Beyonce song keeps coming in. What is it? Don't lie. When you hurt me, you only hurt yourself. You're not lying to me. You're only lying to yourself. We say things like that, right? You're only lying to yourself. You're talking about, again, people who are failing themselves. Someone who's done an injustice to you, is someone who didn't see you appropriately, someone who lost you or missed you. They failed themselves. And even when you think about your own self and you think about the times you may have come up short, or you weren't on your best, or you weren't mature enough or brave enough, you fail yourself. But you say, no, I failed this person, or I failed my parent. You failed yourself. And we keep moving past that point of failure. There is no external failure. I promise you, life is going on for a lot of people. And you are having yourself stuck in, oh, I didn't do right by, my marriage, or I didn't do right by, your kids. You didn't do right by your degree. You didn't do right by this, and that. And at the point of it, the center of it all was not that you failed all these things that you had to, that were a domino effect. These people were affected by your self failure. That's all that was. You failed yourself first. And again, the failure of self is not the measure of material tangible. The failure of self, again, is the measure of joy, of self, happiness within self, growth and understanding. Did you learn? Did you grow? And did you do better? Then you were not in a lesson that could be failed. You were in a lesson where there could be learning done. If you are still here and you are still able to transform, to redo, you are a better person, you're a stronger person, you are a different person than my love. You did not fail. You did not fail. And being able to be at this juncture where I am in my life, sitting at the position where I can see 40 years of life, and I also can look into a future, right? Creator willing, looking into a future and sitting at this middle point of like, there were no failures. Shout out to Nikiwe. She did this, one of my comrades, she did and beloved sister, she did a lecture some years ago. I think, as a matter of fact, I think Nikiwe only did one lecture, if I'm not mistaken. And her lecture was failing forward. She was a big champion for failing forward. How oxymoronic. Can you fail and move forward? Yes, because you're not failing. You're growing. You're learning. You're moving. So there is no outside. There is no failure outside of you. So as we're moving, and get ready to close this moment, as we're moving through this life, as we're saying, I don't know if I'm going to sign up for this next course. I don't know if I'm going to go to this doctor's appointment. I don't know if I'm going to take on this thing that they're asking me to be a part of. I don't know, because I don't know if I'll win. I don't know if it'll be good for me. I don't know if I'll grow. This is where I want us to get. If the reason you aren't signing up, if the reason you aren't logging off, if the reason you aren't stepping away or leaning in forward is because you're afraid to fail, I want you to know that that is an impossibility. The only thing ever failable is you. And that is not a one-time decision of did I fail myself? That is a ever evolving conversation with self that says day after day, am I showing up for her? Am I telling her truth? Am I standing on business about her or him, depending on who you are? Am I doing what's right for her? Does this work for her? Because the only failure there is the failure of self. And that's not bank account. That's not the money that will come and go or come and stay if you're looking at it the right way. Okay? That's not the relationships that will evolve and change, that will have reason, season, or lifetime. That's not that. That's not the measure. It's not the children or that will grow up and become and have their own children and live a life themselves. It is not the times. It is not the tides. It is the only failure is, did you fail yourself? Did you give it your best shot? Did you learn? Did you do it differently? Did you try again? Did you embrace? Did you embark? Did you implement? The only failure possible is you. So as we get up out of this moment, and I thank you all for joining me for this dope moment, right? I want us all to keep in mind, nothing should be stopping you from living this beautiful life. Again, Shout out to my brothers, my big brother Majestic, my baby brother Victorious, who no longer walk a physical walk. They can no longer wake up in the morning and go after another career. They can no longer take all the courage to talk to a stranger that can be a possible new love of your life. They can no longer paint a picture, write a story, watch a movie. Forever. Okay. Whoo, came back. Sorry about that, y'all. Forever. Okay. Whoo, came back. Sorry about that, y'all. Those that are watching in real time. So what I noticed is that on the playback, you guys don't see that pause that just happened. But those watching in real time, y'all were just like, what just happened? Right? Unfortunately, even though I do have my do not disturb on, didn't miss it this time. Unfortunately, sometimes when a call comes through or someone is leaving a voice message, it will still freeze the frame. Just like I might as well let the phone ring. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. We're back. We're back, Jack. But anyway, what I was saying before that little jit, and again, if you're watching the playback, you didn't see the jit, and you're like, what is she talking about? There was a jit. Okay. There's no failure outside of yourself. The only failure at all is failing yourself. You can't fail your boss. You can't fail your parents. You can't fail a test. That's a pregnancy test, any other test. There's tons of them, right? Health diagnosis. You can't fail, right? Stand up for yourself. Heal yourself. Grow yourself. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. I was talking about my brothers. Shout out to Majestic and Victorious. And I was talking about how in this physical realm there will be things that they will not do in this realm, in this life, in this time frame ever again. But if you woke up and you took a deep breath and your heart was beating and oxygen was moving throughout your beautiful body, guess what? You have recourse, reset, rebalance, relearn. You have the ability to restore. That means failure have you stopped? Or was it just the end of that chapter, the end of that season, and now new beginnings wait? That means failure does not exist for those that are focused and flowing. Continue to focus and flow. Do not get stuck in stagnation. I don't care what you planned and what's not happening. If you're still here, you're still part of the plan, and the plan still belongs to you. I love you all so much. I'll see you next week for another moment of harmony. Hey, go on. Be really good to yourself. Take real good care of yourself. We'll be out at the gala fundraiser tonight. I'll be putting some pictures up because your girl gonna get girlied up. And then do good things for yourself. Whatever makes you feel good like that. You know what I'm saying? Find something great. Find something great to do today. And then, after you've done some real good things for yourself, go on out your way and do really, really, really good things for someone else. Take really good care of someone else. Because sometimes that's not doing things. That's just being. That's just being things. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, take really good care of someone else. I love you all so much, and I will see you all next week for another moment of harmony.